Holding together. Characters: Charlie, a weasel; Diana, a fox; Eric, a small rodent with sharp spines or quills. Charlie, a weasel; Diana, a fox; and Eric, a porcupine, were caught in a terrible earthquake. The earth opened up, and the three of them fell into a giant crack in the earth. Trees were crushed and swallowed up, their roots left sticking out of the ground like spiny, gnarled fingers. It was a terrible ordeal, but the three animals survived. After the earthquake, they find themselves trapped in a narrow, muddy pit deep below the ground. As the tremors hit, they huddled together. They quickly separated. However, when it was over, each began trying to make an escape plan on his own. After a bit, Charlie spoke up. "This is terrible. The walls of this pit are nothing but mud and roots. There is no escape. We are doomed. Our fate is sealed," cried Charlie. "I'll get out. You may be doomed, but on the other hand, we'll find a way out of this pit if that's the last thing I do," answered Diana confidently. Eric, who was naturally slow, spoke up last. "Well, the good thing is that we can see the sky from down here. Maybe someone will happen by with a rope to rescue us," suggested Eric. "We couldn't get a rope around you. You're too prickly. Charlie and I would be hauled up together, but you would most certainly be too prickly to come with us. We would all be seriously injured by your sharp quills," said Diana with conviction. Charlie ran back and forth, nervously chattering about being doomed. Diana sat down and began thinking of his escape plan. Eric looked up at the sky and wished for someone to rescue them. The three animals continued this way for quite some time before Eric, who was naturally slow, had thought, "What if we could find a way to climb out on our own?" he asked. "I've been trying," answered Diana. "All we have in this pit is a tree trunk that has been stripped of its branches, and these long, broken, tangled roots. That skinny tree will not stand up by itself, and all the roots piled together would collapse under our weight." Eric looked at the skinny tree trunk. He looked at the tangled roots, all jumbled together. He looked at Charlie. He looked at Diana, and then he spoke. "Let's work together. I have an idea. Instead of fighting with each other, let's try working together. If we put our heads together, I think we could come up with a plan." The animals agreed to try. "Could we use the tree trunk as a pull ladder?" asked Charlie. "How could we get the trunk to stand up?" asked Diana. "Let's tie some of the tangled roots together and make a rope," suggested Eric. "We could fasten the rope to the center of the tree and hoist it up." "It's worth a try," said Charlie. So Charlie gathered up some of the tangled roots. Eric untangled them, and Diana tied them together. When they thought the root rope was long enough, they fastened it around the middle of the tree, and all of them began to pull. The tree pole moved, but it would not stand up. Diana suggested they fasten a second rope to the tree pole on the opposite side. Charlie, Eric, and Diana worked together and prepared a second rope, which was tied to the pole. With Eric and Charlie on one side and Diana on the other side, they pulled again. The pole was raised, and it was still quite unsteady. Eric suggested that since there were three of them, why not trying a third root rope to the pole? Once again, working together, the animals tied the third rope to the tree pole. They each pulled on their root rope, and the pole was raised straight up and strong, fastening the ends of their root ropes to some of the roots that were buried firmly in the ground, and they made their tree pole secure. Then one by one, each of the animals climbed the tree trunk, hopped on the ground, and was freed. Diana was last to climb out. When he hopped to freedom, Charlie and Eric greeted him with a loud hurrah. Together, they celebrated their freedom and vowed to remain friends forever.